my friends, and welcome back to Meerkat Musings. I am your host, Ben, aka Daft Moan, coming at you on the 18th of December, so 1 week to go before the big day itself, of course, before Christmas Day. And we're also, of course, as well, drawing towards the end of 2024. So now feels like as good a time as any to kind of pause and reflect upon the past 12 months. And I kind of look upon 2024 as a year that has ultimately, I think, strengthened the bond that I have with my wife. I think we've kind of reaffirmed a few things over the course of the year in that regard. It's been a year of travel, going all the way back to Easter. We went to a little place in Norfolk for my mother's birthday, which was a nice little kind of weekend getaway at this little kind of Airbnb that we had. A very nice property, it must be said. I was kind of semi-convinced it was haunted, which is somewhat maybe absurd, especially for me, of all people, to think. But there were a few odd little moments which made me wonder. And I had a very weird sort of spooky dream whilst I was there as well. But I digress slightly. But it was a nice little family getaway for my mother's birthday. And so that was quite a nice occasion. It was, in terms of travel, somewhat crazy. In terms of getting there, but we coped as we always do with these things. We had a trip to Sicily in summer. It was a lovely and hot experience, as one sort of expects from a Mediterranean isle. It's the first time that I have ever been to an Italian province in any way, shape or form. And you do get a feel for the culture and the passion, and you get a unique feel for that with Sicily, because although it's, part of Italy, it's also, a distinct island in its own right, with its own kind of distinct take upon Italian norms and conventions. It's a bit like, you can go to, when you come to the United Kingdom, you can find yourself experiencing things very differently on the south coast in Brighton, for example, than you might if you went all the way up to, say, Inverness in Scotland. Although they're part of Great Britain, they're distinctly different in so many ways. They have some similarities, but they have some differences as well. And that's something that I would say is very much the case with Italy and Sicily. Although I don't have loads of frames of reference for that, of course, having never been anywhere else in Italy. But nonetheless, it was an amazing trip, great food, as one sort of expects from Italians, really. And it was a nice hotel. It was very hot for the most part whilst we were there. And we were in the swimming pool more or less every day. We went dolphin watching on one occasion, which was amazing. We visited some very old, very rustic, beautiful little towns as well. And we just, generally speaking, we enjoyed ourselves. We relaxed. And it was quite glorious, really, in many regards. Unfortunately, summer seems like it was a long time ago now. But hey-ho, there you go. My wife and I celebrated being married for 15 years this year. But we've been together for 20, and we haven't killed each other, which is amazing. So, hooray to us. And here's, of course, to the rest of our lives together. And in other news, I was able to finish off my next book, which is the sequel to The Awakening. The Schism got sent off to my publisher, and they came back with edits, which, of course, is what happens with these things. I've got those done, got those sent back. Now it's into sort of round 2 of that process. but it's one step closer to being published again, which is a really nice feeling. And that will be out next year. So a nice little moment for me for this year, and a nice little moment to look forward to for next year. In terms of the day job, it's quieting down for us quite a lot, which we kind of knew would happen when a neighbouring store to us kind of began to get back onto its feet. It had a ropey beginning, this other store, which was unfortunate in some respects because it happened to be the biggest store in the company when it opened, and yet there were some issues, particularly with some of the management staff, that meant the store didn't shine. Now it's shining, it's got new management, it's doing really, really well, but that unfortunately isn't great for us where we are. So we've taken a bit of a knock in that regard. At one point, I was stressing about this, but I have come to realise that stressing over things I cannot control is pointless. I can fret and I can procrastinate. Believe me, I can procrastinate at length at various things. But these are things which are completely beyond my powers to change. So I just had to try and learn the lesson which I've been trying to learn for many, many years, which is to let go of that sort of stuff. It doesn't do one any favours to hold on to poisoned chalices, and letting oneself get kind of gripped by fear, by doubt, by anxiety. I'm trying to move away from that sort of thing, and it's a process, you know. I mean, I am, without question, at times quite a neurotic meerkat, and you know, Lord knows, crazy things go on in my head sometimes. But I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to be just more chilled. Now, whether or not I achieve that to any meaningful degree, I don't know. But if you don't try, then you will never know. And so that is another, I think, rather important and meaningful lesson in life, and something that I've been trying to learn more and more over the course of 2024. Anything else go on this year? Well, this year I actually got not one but two new tattoos. One of them was themed on Super Mario Brothers, and the other one was themed upon Super Mario Brothers' arch rival, Sonic the Hedgehog. So, you know, two tattoos representing two different aspects of video game history, if you like. In fact, when I reflect upon it now, three of my 8 tattoos now are video game related, which, you know, only just occurred to me, but there you go. It goes to show how much games have influenced me, clearly. Already got plans for tattoo number 9, which will be a joint venture with my wife. But it's just a question of getting that arranged and booked in. And what else? What else has happened over the course of 2024? I could go into some of the, you know, political and social stuff. I don't particularly want to, if I'm being honest, because some of it's not all that great. Although it was fantastic to see the Conservatives here in the UK absolutely destroyed at the last general election. Very much something that was long overdue, and although I can express some disappointment in some ways, because for some crazy reason some people voted reform into the House of Parliament, in other respects it was a real victory for those who don't particularly like seeing wannabe far-right neo-Nazis get into power. And there was a pretty serious pushback against that kind of thing in many other ways. But where things will go, particularly in the political arena, as we move into 2025, who can say? We're going to have Donald Trump back as president, and that will throw the world quite possibly into chaos. So it'll be interesting to see who kind of gains the most out of the chaos that we will almost inevitably get. But that's all I'm going to say about matters of politics, because, as I say, I don't really want to go into too much detail on stuff like that. What I do want to do is to wish anyone and everyone who's listening a very Merry Christmas. I hope that you receive that which you want and need at this festive time. And I wish everyone a happy new year and a prosperous new year as well, moving into 2025. I hope that we can all find that which we are looking for, and I hope that we all get the opportunities that we want and need in the new year. I don't think I can say anything more than that. So I wish you all well, and the next time that I ping one of these videos along, it will be 2025.